All right. Okay, there we go. Hello and welcome to SunnyRedemption Sailing, your bi-weekly voyage for BS3 gaming news, sponsored by Sweetheart Pro Wrestling. The story of how former professional models became unprofessional wrestlers in WWE 2K23. That's sweetheartprowrestling.com. Okay, so, yeah, let's just start from Arrival, I suppose.
Yep. I'm just looking through the skulls, because they have added some wacky ones. Let me see.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Well, they still have Grunt Birthday Party.
Yeah.
Pinata is a fun one, but it can break things a little bit. So
Pinata? Why?
You can punch. If you want to put it on, we can.
Yeah, let's just have it for fun, for the lulz.
If you punch enemies, they drop grenades, so you can pretty much have near infinite grenades.
That would be so great. Let's do it.
Okay.
What's the third one?
With heroic?
Yeah, heroic sounds good. That seems like a good balance.
I would have been your daddy, which just makes the rare dialogue more common.
What's that again? The rare dialogue?
It's a skull that just makes. It's just like there are some dialogue lines that will pop up rarely, and it just makes them happen more commonly. It's nothing.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's fun. Any other fun ones or no?
The other ones are more like difficulty related.
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
You know, making it more difficult. So.
Yeah, I can see because of the score multiplier being 1.0
yeah,
still.
The ones that I have are more trivial.
Oh man,
right.
Well.
Do you want to still do heroic?
Yeah, again, totally fine with that. Okay, let's go. But first, man, I'm so disappointed. I installed Call of Duty and everything, all of the moving pieces, and like got confused when I ended up accidentally deleting the components that were needed. But it's still just so heartbreaking that Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is such slop.
Did I ever tell you that?
Oh, anyway, let's
choose whichever Spartan I want.
Oh yeah, the Lux speech, isn't it?
You know me. I did my research.
And this is a reference to the Star trailer, right?
Like the others.
I feel like.
I believe so.
What was it called again?
Like Halo 3
a natural
trailers,
leader.
I don't remember.
But you had something they didn't. Something no one
Starry
saw,
Night,
but
the
me.
Super Bowl
Starry
one.
Night, yeah.
That
yes, yep.
broke. That broke everyone that broke the records on Monday Night Football and really launched the idea of gaming being mainstream now in one of the best years for gaming ever. I mean, just of course.
Was I wrong?
This one, and then Mass Effect, and like no more Heroes, Ratchet and Clank Future, Forza Motorsport 2, Hellgate London, which I was so jealous of because like I was barely able to persuade my mom to get a RuneScape subscription for me. Let alone any kind of gaming PC for Half-Life 2, Portal, the Orange Box, or 360 for BioShock or Call of Duty or Halo or anything like that. I was rocking a Wii at the time, and my mom had accidentally purchased 2 at launch, and then had to, and then was able to return one to the eBay seller.
Gel layer could have taken most of the impact.
Oh right, that frickin' cliffhanger to Halo 2 ending. I mean, it's more believable than when Batman fell from space and just used his cape to cover himself. That was still very badass, but very okay. We jumped the shark in terms of Batman plot armor.
Radio for Vital. Heavy lift gear. We're not leaving him here.
I feel like his mouth has formed around the cigar. Nice.
Crazy fool. Why do you always jump? One of these days, you're gonna land on something as stubborn as you are. And I don't do bits and pieces.
Well, apparently, Sergeant Johnson does arbiter touches on the butt. Apparently.
Don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it.
Okay.
She stayed behind.
Corporal, make it quick.
Sorry, sir.
I can't even imagine waiting 3 years for this.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
After, again, the terrible ending, Because they really wanted to make the ending that they wanted, but
Wait!
they didn't have time.
Arbiter's with us. Come on now. We've got enough to worry about without you two trying to kill each other.
Were it so easy. We must go. The brutes are
I feel like Halo 4 should have centered
must
on
love
their
the smell of
ship
heroes.
growing a bit, you know? Like, that'd be really cool. Co-op angle again.
Yeah.
But in the collapsed world after everything, where it's like neither of them really know where they're supposed to be. You know what they're supposed to do anymore.
First
But,
come back to
hey.
my scouts.
Oh, okay. So you are an arbiter. Cool.
Quiet as you can.
Alrighty. Is the host always the arbiter, or? Huh.
I don't know.
It might be random. Who
I
knows?
don't remember. Yeah.
But man,
Bravo team, this is Johnson. We got him. Fall back.
this looks gorgeous.
Over.
Though at launch on the 360 it was 540p. Because they were still getting used to the hardware. This was Bungie's first game on the Xbox 360 after all. And their last working with Microsoft after all the tension. This really does feel like a swan song for what Halo used to be, I suppose. But man, this is also the rubber bandiest. I am very, very nervous.
I was gonna say, don't forget about Reach. Reach was after this.
Oh yeah,
Gunny,
duh.
breaking up.
Well, yeah. God, I'm tired.
Alright.
Yeah, maybe we should play that one next. Cause, like, that's just such a cool game.
I tried to sneak up on him. There's a way to get up.
Oh no! Oh no, plasma grenade! Grunts. Oh, I hate those so much. Yay! Uh-oh. Plasma turret. Let's get him.
Nice.
And I got a birthday party on the turret guy. Happy last birthday ever. Sorry I shot that Marine in the head. As you know, I have a bad track record with, we have a bad track record actually, with killing Marines. And speaking of that, did you see the Warthogs have eyes?
I saw that
In
thing
Halo
you sent
2.
me. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, they
I
must have
wondered if
just.
that was intentional or just the way the texture warping makes it look. I don't know.
I think it was just like, okay, we have no idea how to make this, and we have like a month left to ship the game. Let's just use human eyeballs and plaster a glass texture on them, and hope they won't notice. Ah! I've already died. So, because this would require my mask to be taken off, I've turned off the camera. But I have to drink Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, and eat 5 Doritos before I can shoot again.
Or is that your self-imposed challenge?
Yes, yes it is.
Okay.
Well,
Grunts ain't no slouches either. Maybe the brutes put something in their tanks.
I think maybe this version was just better. I don't know, maybe I just am more adventurous culinarily, but I like Baja Blast more than the first time I drank it when you were over here.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, would I get it as often as you? No, but
They got
No.
carbides.
they
It's
might
pretty
have
much
gotten the
only
ratio
soda,
of
yeah,
that
it's the only
Ron.
soda I drink these days. I've weaned myself off of everything else, but cannot quit the Baja Blast.
Huh. Everybody's got to have a vice. For me, it's usually spicy Chinese food, which is not great for my stomach. And yet Taco Bell had the worst stomach effects for some reason. Than Szechuan Chinese food that like rips through your
I'm
everything.
dead.
Oh no. Well, I still have to eat 2 Doritos. 1 more Dorito.
Back.
Okay. Alright, I'm back. Cool. Okay. Reminds me of now I'll never see the Spiker the same way again after seeing the Believe interview about it, where it's like, oh, you know, we had to use any weapons that we could, and here's this enemy Spiker that I used when my back was against the wall, and Chief lifted the grenade and gave us hope again. It's like, wow, they really added a lot of gravitas to this. And spent like the last $10 million of the $40 million marketing budget on that. Wow. I mean, the fact of the matter is that this was just like, according to, who was it that I just watched? Default Cheesecake on YouTube. This is where I'm getting most of this information from. They just were like, well, let's just make Halo a cultural phenomenon while we're at it. Even though we were gonna sell well to the hardcore gamers, you gotta get everybody excited to not miss out on this. And that's what made the Xbox 360 so mystique-y, for lack of a better term. Like, it really felt like this amazing playground where all the cool kids were hanging out, and you know, the Wii was great, but just not that same mystique. It was targeted at grandma and friends who came over to play Rock Band with my sister, for the most part. So that was also a game that came out in 2007, and that, you know, I had fun with that. Usually downstairs with them or at friends' houses, but I just could not figure out the first temple of Twilight Princess, and then when I came,
monkeys, yeah.
then when I came back to it later, the tutorial was just so fucking boring. I hope that if they make a remake or whatever, that they allow you to skip it, because it's like, okay, we get it. How the motion controls work. Oh, not again! Alright, I'm gonna triple fist it. Not so cheesy, ultra processed goodness. My nice white controller is gonna hate me for this. But okay. You know, I think it is the Doritos that really adds to the flavor profile of the Baja Blast for me. But I can barely shoot again. Oh god! They have the high ground!
Well, stay alive if you can.
Area not safe, so I'm gonna pull back. Why does it say we're waiting to respawn for me?
There we go.
Like on my HUD.
Well, it means I'm waiting for respawn.
Yeah, but they could have worded that better. Okay, there we go. You're toast. Brute Launcher feels a little bit more tactile than Halo 2 did. Let's see. Though, I kind of regret getting rid of the battle rifle for it. I'm sure I'll pick one up somewhere else, that's fine.
There's one right here if you want it.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got that and the Needler, and then you can pick up the Brute Launcher for a little bit if you want.
I'm good. I've got my carbine.
It always bothered me how tiny the Needler looked in Halo 3. I don't know why. It just looked like a toy. I think a lot of people had criticisms for the designs, because again, they had to do a lot of things new, and not a lot of time to do it once again.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Nope, I'm alive, okay.
And had to top one of the best-selling games on Xbox ever. So the fact they managed to pull off something as good as this is amazing to me. But this is also the time when Call of Duty was at its peak, and I really, really wanted Modern Warfare 4.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, like the thing is,
or Modern
like,
Warfare. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Sorry, the
Call of Duty
main
was,
scheme
like,
has
a
confused
little
me.
bit after this. Like, this game at least had a few months to kind of shine before
Yeah.
Call of Duty started taking over.
Right, that's true.
I very much remember that, like, turning point was kind of like holiday 2007, because this game came out in September, and I remember after holiday 2007, everyone came back to school talking about Call of Duty.
Pelicans are at the river. We got
Well,
company, so hustle up.
by the time I ended...
included. I was playing it too. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
This is pretty
By
great.
the time I was actually getting around to playing it in 2010 on my MacBook Pro, the Mac version was riddled with cheaters. So I basically just played the modded like maps for zombies and stuff.
Oh, I was all over
Get a
it.
hold of her. Negative. We're going down.
Ah! Oh no! Going down. Well, I mean, those were the two kings of the Xbox 360 shooter mountain back then. And, at the time, well, for Christmas 2006, really, I had gotten my first ever first-person shooter at home, which was a copy of Call of Duty 2 for PC that my mom's coworker bought for me, which we sent him a very nice thank you card after that. I died again! Why am I the one who's died the most? Did just like the cosmos decide?
Oh, I'm not doing
Oh, that chanting is so good. Really hits you where they live. But I am okay. Oh. Oh. Papa goes a weasel. Oh, I can pick up a heavy machine gun from underwater. What? That's a... Wait, I'm just walking underwater with the turret. Boink. Gotta get to dry land with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever knew you could actually go in this water. I don't know if I ever actually tried.
Well, as long as the crosshair is red, I don't care. Yes. The amphibious Master Chief in his natural habitat.
I'm definitely not...
Ow.
Like, Halo 1's campaign I'm very familiar with because I played so much of that, but this, by the time like online multiplayer was part of Halo, I was more playing that.
Yeah. What about the Halo 3 beta?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think that's a drawing or an actual piece of battle rifle. No, it seems like it's just a drawing. That's underneath here. I don't know why, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just pulling back and we're just gonna be like underwater Master Chiefs to this entire level. Sorry if it's a little visually boring, everybody, but
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty deadly up on that ridge, so I'm gonna go to the... Once I respawn, I'm gonna go to the long way around because we can go back.
Oh, wow,
and get
okay.
back on land.
Apparently they just like instantly know where you are and have a rocket ready. But like, when are we gonna be able to do anything instead of... Ah, okay, well, oh.
I'm back on
Who
land,
is
so
shooting
we
me?
can
Oh my god! Ah!
pick them off from here.
Oh man. Well, my frog strategy is no longer effective.
That's fine. Something, I thought I was safe behind that rock, but something...
No! Hang on. I still have to eat my Doritos.
Hold on, got a contact. Bad shoes, fast and low.
Why did I do this? This is so unhealthy.
Watch yourself. Lost the thruster. Hang on. Get a hold of her. Negative. We're going down.
Okay. Well. So yeah, did you play the Halo 3 beta?
A little bit, because I didn't have a 360 by then, but
I like friends' houses.
My neighbor had one. My
Oh,
neighbor
neighbor.
had one, and yes. And that's
Neat.
where I played a lot of local Halo 3 as well, because he had a setup where we do 4 players on each TV.
Nice. Like how many
Pretty much-
TVs?
2.
Ah,
So we
okay.
can do 8 player.
Neato.
But yeah, that was a hell of a time. Pretty much every weekend for a good 3 or 4 months, we were just pretty much playing Halo all weekend.
Nice, nice. Out of ammo, switching to...
Next time we see one of those, we need to coordinate.
What other weapon can I pick up here?
I just dropped some stuff over here. There's also...
Oh, there's more ammo for battle rifle. Oh, wait! The carbine! The Covenant carbine, that's
Yeah,
neat.
the carbine. Yeah, the carbine's around too.
And there's some grenades there, too, so...
Yeah, don't forget
I just
about
need
our
to go
melee
into
grenade
my... Oh, right, yes. But I need to, I think... what's Jumper?
For jumper?
Oh, okay. That's, to activate the... Yeah, save settings, because it's to activate the jetpack by pressing the jump button, which, you know, I get why people do bumper jumpers, but it never was really a problem for me, personally, to switch between right stick and A quickly. So I'm fine with that, whenever that's needed. Ow. Can you, like, don't? Thank you. Okay, yeah, grenade spam? Come on, brute, eat it. There we go.
Oh, still a brute with a brute launcher thing.
Neato. Oh no! Okay, I only got half exploded by that. Nice. Alright. Time to not do that. Okay. Grenade spam! Oh, wait, what? This is to the tale of a young grunt named Flipyap. Well, hey, that worked. It got me an achievement. That skull was really great then.
Oh, I might die. No, wait, I'm fine.
Okay, well, I got a grenade out of that. Oh, that was so epic. Okay. Phew. Nice. What? Wart. Phew. Okay, time to smack some grunts.
They killed my friend.
No, your friend! I don't care. But yeah, so... It's just a total tragedy to see Black Ops 7 go from the heights of Black Ops 1 and 2, or even 3, arguably, because even though it was batshit insane, I love the campaign. Especially when they just decided, like, hey, we have a few extra months of development, let's just have everybody go through the campaign again, but basically replace all the dialogue with narration about zombies. Because why not? And like parkour challenges and stuff. That was actually one of the most inventive zombies things they ever did, and even though my personal favorite is still the original World at War on mobile devices. So I'm not like the biggest zombies nerd in the world, because it's been difficult to get co-op games going of that. And now I never will for Black Ops 7 know how the zombies are, which sucks, because, well, I refuse to support AI art. It's not art. It's an abomination made to replace people. And hope that people are too stupid to notice that they're paying $70 for low-effort slop. I mean, at least on PlayStation anyway. They're probably gonna justify a Game Pass price increase if Black Ops 7 doesn't sell as well as they would unrealistically
yeah,
do.
I know you were not to like say like, oh, why do you support this but not that, but how do you feel about the arcraiders situation then?
Okay, so as I mentioned, I really did want to play Arcraiders because I had another friend who was really excited about it and said like, oh, this is so great, you should get it. And I looked into it and found 2 codes for $30 each, which would have been perfect. Except that I went to Gaming Dragons, which was the only place that had that, and it was a code, not an account. I made sure of that. Find Johnson before he's captured. Oh crap. But
I don't think there's an actual time limit or anything here.
Ow. Blarg! I had to do this again. While I think about it. Hang on. Okay.
I'm dead, so just stay there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're eating Doritos.
I know you're...
I probably look like a disgusting slob with Doritos dust all over my nice pink sweater. So the one I got from my wanna be a cute anime girl, one of my favorite webtoons of all time. Alright. So Gaming Dragons asked for my ID to verify the transaction, which is unusual. Like, I've never done any online shopping that requires that.
I would. That's a little much.
Well, they at least only had to get my name and date of birth. That's not good. But then I checked for an email from them, and they said the Gaming Dragon support said that they needed my order number and today's date, so I did that. And then they said like, oh, well, you know, if you haven't received it in your email, check your spam, and I did. And if you still haven't received it by then, oh, I still have to. There we go. Drink portion accomplished of this stupid challenge. But yeah, like, so as a result, they were like, well, if you still don't get it, then make an account. And I tried to, but it failed out when I did it manually, and it failed out when I tried to connect it to Facebook, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. But, yeah, no, not fantastic. So I then said, like, either email me this code correctly, like every other store on the planet, or refund me. And when they refused, I went to PayPal about it and got a refund. Because I figured if I was gonna do a transaction like this, where in a store that I don't know, I'm gonna use credit so that I can get those protections of the refund. And that's what happened. Is I got approximately $82 back after taxes and all that. And so it probably would have cost me less money and time to just try and get the games that way, and then like buy the game regularly and then gift it to you. But then I read about the AI voice situation. Apparently there was like a contract that the voice actors agreed to where like they could actually I'm gonna need to look up the facts 1 second of this, because I read it on Kotaku. Arcraiders, let's see. And it's really disappointing because even Helldivers 2 I said that Arcraiders' use of AI makes gaming better. It basically said...
And Embark also did pretty much the same thing in the finals too, so it's not like necessarily surprising.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Raiders.
Yeah.
With Black Ops 7's AI, it's like it's disappointing, but not especially surprising, because I know some of Black Ops 6 also has that in there.
Yeah, it's just that, like,
So,
you know, you would think they would...
It's just very obvious in Black Ops 7.
Yeah,
like,
with the six-fingered knight,
like,
again, because AI still can't do fingers correctly.
Yeah,
and this is probably the AI...
6...
This is also
Yeah,
probably the... sorry. This is also probably the same dumbass Ghibli filter, which means that, that the White House used to justify ICE arrests by shitting all over the great master Hayao Miyazaki, which means that Activision is literally ripping off Studio Ghibli and they should sue. That's my contention. Allegedly. That's my allegation anyway. Oh no! Nice. Oh, sniped again. Well, at least I'm not drinking fucking gamer fuel.
It's, you know, same ingredients, almost different flavor.
What was the flavor?
It was like cherry.
Oh god.
Oh, you know,
I would have hated
very
that.
fake cherry.
Yeah, I hate fake cherry.
At least original Game Fuel. They also did an orange one and I think some kind of blue one. I don't know what flavor.
Well,
but the original like Mountain Dew Game Fuel was cherry, like red. At least it was red and it tasted cherry adjacent to me.
yeah, well, I would have hated that because all of my medicine was cherry flavored. And it put me off of artificial cherry flavors forever. So I'm very sensitive to that stuff. Neurodivergence is so much fun. With all of your senses. But anyway. Oh no!
Yep.
Oh, well, like, at least I got a grenade before I died. But yeah. Let me see what the actual exact contract is. Arcraiders AI. Yeah, and it's again for voice acting. So the voice actors consented, which, like, the pressure to accept such terms can be a little bit much. So, like, there was questions about whether it was actually consensual.
Yeah, the whole, like, oh, the voice actors agree to this doesn't really hold much weight for me because it's kind of the same flavor of thing as the statement Activision just put out, which was basically like, yeah, we had our artists, you know, all agreed that this was... It's like, well, that doesn't really matter to me. The output is what matters, and the output looks pretty
See how they beat
trash. So
yeah, well, I wish I had known about this before I ended up looking into Arcraiders. Oh, the actual balls on Johnson.
Yeah,
anyway,
and for me, my take on all this AI stuff is like I am, you know, very anti-AI, but I think I'm maybe a little less hardline in that, like, hey, I'm pretty sure it's probably been used in some games that I've played already, and it's not necessarily going to stop me from playing a game that I want to play, but it's definitely going to leave a bad taste in my mouth. So.
And full disclosure,
I'm dead.
Okay, so it's a little bit more understandable to me when you're a small YouTuber, like Sweetheart Pro Wrestling. Does use AI for some interstitial scenes about things like bikini waxing that would be impossible to pull off in WWE 2K23 with Sora. Or he's planning on doing AI voice acting for Portia, who's the female, like, a computer character that sits next to him in the commentary booth, who just sort of sits there awkwardly in silence now. But I have offered to do human voice acting for him instead, which would be A, cheaper, B, less time consuming, and C, more emotive and more reactive too. So, you know, I know he watches these things and always comments, so I'm maybe putting him in slightly a bit of a corner, and I apologize, but I know that he's a talented artist because his sports commentary for Sweetheart Pro Wrestling is just so hilarious that I know that if he had the resources to hire humans, he would.
So that's kind of why it's like, really, does Activision really need to do this?
I'm basically offering to do this for the exposure, though. And overall, I think that the best way to defend human art is for independent humans to band together, because The big studios only care about the bottom line now. Got much is clear. And Microsoft just wants to churn out a Call of Duty game because they know it'll sell and it'll be a Game Pass seller. Although, how much that is not exactly clear anymore after all the dumb restrictions about, oh, it's only on Game Pass Ultimate, you know, like, and that's still, they're gonna lose so much money on potential sales that they have to pretend to account for. I mean, the video game industry has always used Hollywood accounting to some degree, though not as egregiously as Hollywood, like the time that there were literal bribes written off to the Moroccan government for the filming the Sahara in 2005, for example. Because that was just how you did business in Morocco at the time. But still, like, where human talent can be used, it should be used more than AI. You know, maybe there will be some non-infringing use of it that can be found eventually, that all humans can agree on and stuff, but the way that it's being used now, haphazardly and shoved into everything, just shows that they're desperate to make any kind of money on hundreds of billions of dollars in investment. And the market is currently overheated and basically incestuous because all these companies give money to each other to keep themselves afloat. So, if there's a market crash, it'll take everybody down. And it might even take large sectors of the economy down, because AI is now in it so much. That was kind of badass, but I still died. Anyway.
I remember there's... Oh, it's a gravity hammer. Okay, never mind. No, that's not that bad. There's a little bottom path down here. Safer, except look out.
I can't believe they would spawn me right into that.
One down, still the gravity hammer guy up. Unfortunately, that might be healing him. I forget how that works.
Yeah, it does seem to be healing him. Oh god!
Alright, I'm dead. But he's... Okay.
I killed him! Wow! He completely ignored me and...
if you want.
Yes! Gravity hammer! Stop! Hammer time! Anyway. So... Even without that, even if they had never used AI at all, it seems that the rush production of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 led to one of the dumbest just rollouts for a game I've ever seen, and that includes the atrocious campaign, which you cannot resume the middle of a mission if you quit because of the online component. So, even though the missions are fairly short, you have to restart the entire mission if you have to leave for any reason. That is not what campaigns are supposed to be about!
Yeah,
like, make some more fucking checkpoints at least. Like, there was no care or thought put into any of it. It's just like, we have to have a campaign because people expect it. And a campaign is what they got. Basically, no, you go. Ow.
Yeah, it's just like, that's just how it is, because they have to put out a yearly game, and like, I wonder where the breaking point's going to be where they say, okay, we're actually going to take a year off, because they were going to take that year off with Modern Warfare 3, remember? And then
it was going to be DLC
no,
at first.
We're going to put out this game, yeah. And, you know, I think it worked well enough for them then that it just kept them like, hey, we can still keep doing this yearly, but just have off years, where this year, in my, you know, kind of outsider eyes, because I don't play that much Call of Duty, it definitely feels like an off year.
Yeah,
like,
it seems
well,
very
we
off.
just cobbled something together, and
I haven't even really
came out.
looked all that much at the multiplayer zombies, as I mentioned, because I just was disgusted by the campaign. The final boss fight is a giant version of the main villain. Remember when that happened in Suicide Squad, and with the giant version of Batman, and everybody hated it? Well, apparently they decided to do it again. Meanwhile, the writing is chock full of Marvel dialogue. The plot makes no sense. They basically were teasing, ooh, beam rifle, nice. Though I don't think it's quite as nice as in Halo 2. But, anyway. They basically decided that they were going to have the hook be that Menendez would return. And he died pretty clearly in Black Ops 2 at the end. At least that was one of the choices, I think. There was a lot of endings, but I think the canon one was that Menendez dies. And that game really did have a lot of bold experimentation, including multiple choice endings in a Call of Duty game, and the RTS elements, which I appreciated, but didn't think were very good. Just in terms of the actual RTS commands. Even for someone who had been a little bit out of scope of RTSs for a while. Still, it felt very clunky. And the first-person shooter parts, I just basically used it as a first-person shooter mission and was able to clear most of them just fine. So it wasn't even all that necessary to continue. But, at least to my recollection, from having played this back when backwards compatibility became a thing for it, whenever that was. But, like, at least that was creativity. At least that was something. At least it wasn't just, oh, well, now you're in an empty map with a bunch of brain-dead AIs with 31 other players. Go have fun. And this is the taster of Warzone or multiplayer, you know, because we really want you to get into the multiplayer so that we can sell you dumbass skins. I already had him feeling good about Call of Duty's direction with all the silly skins. And arcraiders said they wouldn't do that, and then they did it anyway for chickens. So that's another thing that sucks. But like, what's even more egregious is that it just doesn't feel like Call of Duty anymore. It feels like a skeleton that they can put whatever putty they want onto it. You know, whether it's cross promotions with Nicki fucking Minaj or the Predator or whatever, and then just call it Call of Duty. And yeah, it's Fortniting itself into irrelevance.
I think Black Ops 6, I think that got incredibly egregious, and they specifically put out that statement saying like, hey, we're pulling back on that. So hopefully they stay true to that at least.
Yeah, probably not.
And I don't personally care that much.
I mean, I don't care either
like, I don't
that much because I don't buy them.
So like, I think it'll definitely be like, this is definitely their time to calibrate what they're doing. Like, they should probably do another
IFF confirmed.
Like,
contact is
rethink
Pelican
of,
dropship,
hey, we
Kilo
should
2-3, over.
maybe pull this back into realism territory and kind of actually look at Battlefield. Although I haven't played much Battlefield 6 outside of Red Sec, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, I still need to try Red Sec.
Yeah, it's alright.
Okay, well, you know, it seems like Battlefield is the game that's won over the internet a little bit more, though its first season was a little rocky, apparently. The realistic feel.
The scene, yeah.
Sorry for the tight squeeze.
Nice.
Like,
Tell the commander her
basics
ace is
right
in the hole.
in a franchise where it feels like they've been not doing that for a bit. I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what Call of Duty needs to do is like, let's just have the basics down. And I haven't heard that much about the multiplayer because I feel like a lot of what's been dominating is the AI and just
Where did you find him?
the quality or lack
Happened.
thereof of the
Out back.
campaign. So
I'll bet.
I definitely am
Good
going
to
to
see
try
you,
the
Chief.
multiplayer at
Likewise,
some point, see how it is.
Let's get you up to
But
speed.
because I did enjoy the couple dozen hours of Black Ops 6 that I played.
The Prophet of Truth.
Yeah,
ships
I
breached
mean,
the
I
Unicorn.
enjoyed when we played it together and was looking forward to redeeming the
Yeah.
technical
Slow
quality,
casualties from the
because
subsequent
what had happened was I
bombardment
was trying to
extreme.
play it in native 4K, and the upscaling artifacts caused it to be a blurry disaster.
The ruins of
That
Neurotypical.
episode of the short-lived
Then
spin-off
we
of
started
SunnyRedemption Sailing called This Game Is Fine, where we just looked at
What
specific
about
games.
Halo?
We stopped it, but
Like, that was before I was like,
Now
okay,
the
you know what,
Prophet
it's
of Truth
fine
is
if
looking for something
SunnyRedemption
called
Sailing moves off to other
where
games
he'll
other
be able
than
to fire
Sea of
all the
Thieves,
Halo
because
rockets. If he
seems
succeeds,
like Sea of Thieves' latest update is
humanity,
kind of a dud.
the Covenant, every sentient
Yeah,
being in the galaxy.
I've been not
The rings will
like
kill us
most
all.
of the time I'm not
Ma'am,
even that
I
interested
have
in
Lord
what's
Hood.
adding to the world.
Patch
I
him
kind of
through.
just enjoy using
Good
Sea of
news,
Thieves
Commander
as a
Keys.
chill
What
out
does it
game.
get, sir?
Yeah,
So
totally.
I see.
I kind of have found
your
my
status,
niche
son?
in just
Green.
hanging out and doing
Sir.
a lot of low stakes
Glad
voyages.
to hear it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Commander's
After
come
all
up with
this
a good
time,
plan.
of chasing the grind for. It makes sense. We've earned our retirement, kind of. Even though we still get attacked. Abuse of senior players. But the chill out game that's really grabbing me though is Viewfinder, because
I know you've talked about that a bunch.
It is even more brilliant than I said last time. You have to get it next time it's on sale, or if it's still on sale.
I know I've had it wishlisted, and
As soon as they're up, reestablish contact.
I'll definitely take another look. I did see like a bunch of stuff about it when there was the initial Steam demo that was like really impressive, and then when the full game came out a couple years ago on Steam. So yeah, I'll definitely look into it again.
Cause like the twists and gimmicks that they have that I'm not gonna spoil at all, unless you end up watching my my stream that I sent you with it in it, which you know that's fine if you decide to or not, and can put it on mute just to see the game if you really want, because I decided to stream it for a couple of reasons last night. Well, I'll let this guy finish yapping.
Bastard just loves to run his
Totally. I can't wait to kill him.
Mention me.
He's
Give the
scared.
order, we're closing shop.
Ma'am?
We're about to get hit.
All personnel.
The wounded.
defense code Alpha
We're getting
1,
all of them
prepare
out.
for
Anyway.
immediate
I
evacuation.
have to carry him myself.
Ma'am, squad leaders are requesting a
So,
where should they go?
So the reason why I did Viewfinder was twofold.
The war.
One, because it was a nice, calm game for very heavy subject, including talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the double genocide there, and criticizing the Baha'i faith for its inaction in the region. Just saying like, oh, you know, the world's crumbling anyway, just don't do anything and it'll take care of itself by you being a Baha'i. Just keep donating to the fund. You're 19% of your income after tax. It's like, wow. You know, at least try and raise humanitarian aid. At least condemn that children are being killed on both sides. And because I also ended up dealing with an unhinged person on Instagram called Palgal72, who I'm calling out right now as a fucking moron who basically just says that the lives of the quote occupiers don't matter. Quote Israel, like
Chief,
just delegitimizing everything that could possibly contradict her her fanatical belief that Hamas is right. You know, I'm very much for free Palestine. But the only realistic solution is a two-state solution. And so I need to do that for that reason, so I wouldn't get too angry and stressed by gaming. But also, Viewfinder is a game about using photographs to build bridges, to find new pathways. And I was making the point that it was important to take what we do know about the conflict to build a comprehensive picture, but one that we can't pretend like we know everything about, because even though she discounted that this was a war, which was ridiculous, it is a war. It's also a genocide, but it's a war because war at its most efficient is genocidal. That's why we have laws of war to begin with. But like the point being that we cannot know everything in a war until it's over. The only reason that we knew anything about the Russian genocides in Ukraine was because the fighting ended in Bucha and investigators were actually able to unearth mass graves. So, you know, stuff like that, when my blood pressure is already a little bit spiked from intense gameplay, can be a bit much. So I'm gonna move off of this subject, but you get my point. Viewfinder is really great for that sort of thing, and so is Power Wash Simulator 2. Even though that time I was actually... Oh no! The Warthog exploded! How dare you! Well, I'm just gonna use the grenades I do have to kill these guys. Go. Spam, spam, eggs, meat, and spam. Ah!
Alright, I should have time to finish this mission. I don't have to like leave right at 11.
What?
But
Already? Wow.
I know.
Once again,
It's getting
Halo.
there. This mission's not like super short, but it's not the longest. So
No, yeah.
for that time to finish it out.
Sure. Killing spree. Or no, wait, Kilimanjaro. Yeah, imagine if they did have those voices. I think they had that as an option in one of the Halo games, where the narrator would say something.
There's campaign scoring, which I think in some games.
Sorry, I
does,
didn't
like,
mean it to
give
smack the
medals.
Marine. Anyway.
Yeah, some games gives you the medals. I'm not sure if it ever does the narration. Maybe in like Firefight. I'm trying to remember. I really don't.
That's okay. I'm on the turret, so... Except that, the ship is right on me. So that's fun.
Yeah, at least I got rid of the gun at least, so that helps.
Okay, that does help a lot. But there's still the turret person. Master Sergeant Shooter person. Duty Calls, that was a very fun parody game back a little bit later, and when everybody started complaining the first time that Call of Duty was getting long in the tooth with the realism. So that was when they did the advanced stuff, and I actually liked a lot of that. The parkour was fun. Advanced Warfare was a little bit much, but Infinite Warfare struck a good balance. If you know you were doing a space shooter and not a Call of Duty game. So it's like, the problem with long-running franchises is like, people expect certain things to be the same, and then new people will want things to obviously be different. So how do you keep innovating all the time? You know, the Moore's Law, etc. Oops, there we go. Time to grab that brute launcher. Or brute shot. Why did I keep saying that? Ah, anyway. Doesn't matter. Okay, blew up that grunt on the turret. And time to smack-a-doodle-doo. How did that miss? It was point blank. Ow! Ow! Leave me alone. What even was that hitbox, though? Oh, right! Underground. That helps. Or under the hangar a little bit. Alright, time to get the spiker. Hopefully get some ammo for it off the ground. That'd be nice. I feel like this is a really good, solid in-between of the assault rifle and the SMG. Oh yeah, the dual wielding. Yeah.
Yeah, Spiker was never my favorite, but it's alright.
Well, hold L and left and right stick to dual wield? What? Okay, that's weird. It used to be much better in the other game.
Yeah, that must be whatever control scheme you're on, because for me it's the same as Halo 2, I believe.
What? I'm trying to get in.
No, I don't think we get in on this one. That's just
okay.
for the Marines to get out.
Back to the Ops Center, okay. Yeah. And they'll be telling stories when they're old about how Master Chief tried to jump repeatedly into their carrier. into their carrier. I am so tired. But man, Halo 3 really was something. It really was so special for so many people. In the Summer of Threequels as well. Like, ranking those, Pirates of the Caribbean 3, Spider-Man 3, and Shrekthethird. Like, just because Shrekthethird is the third at the bottom, it's way more terrible than other movies from that time. And it's such a disappointment that it set the franchise back by like 8 years, and now we're waiting another like 12 after the fourth one. For Shrek the Fifth, that's Shrek 5. That's, well, I guess we'll see. But it's like, okay, you know, the stories used to have trilogy arcs, is my thinking, and I would like to get back to that to some degree. You know, because the other game that I forgot to mention was Halo ODST. That was a nice spin-off. People complained at the time because it just shipped with Halo 3 multiplayer maps, and so it was basically just a giant campaign DLC, but still a really good game. very moody, very atmospheric, very different change of pace for and open world-ish. So it's kind of laying the groundwork even without the teaser for Destiny, which is now just a complete disaster, and I have no idea what's going on with that one.
Drones! A whole swarm!
Oh my god. I just love small enemies that swarm you. Hooray.
Yeah, this is where like the SMG and assault rifle come in handy. You kind of just getting close and spray and pray a little bit.
Yeah, fair. Well, these are the weapons I got. Uh-oh.
Unless
you find any SMGs or assault rifles. I think I may have to requisition a Marines.
Yeah, I did remember this bit. I was like, alright, I know the drone guys are going to come in. Let me carry an SMG in my pocket. Or another good option is if you carry a turret all the way from that last section. Oh yeah. Well, I do not due to being murdered, but doesn't seem like that was that hard, at least. I can imagine this being a pain in the ass on Legendary. Yes. I don't remember if I think I've done this campaign on Legendary, but I don't have total recognition if I do. I'm just gonna assume that you did all the campaigns on Legendary unless you tell me otherwise. I've at least done a good portion of this one on Legendary. And we did a lot of the VidMaster Challenges and all that stuff back in. Meaning, I guess your co-op friends. Because a lot of those were co-op oriented.
Understood.
Yeah. ViewMaster Challenges. What were those for?
VidMaster. They were just like extra achievements.
Follow me.
VidMaster, yeah.
Now you get Spartan points for that. For skins,
pretty much.
I guess.
It was just like, it was almost like a very prototypical version of like daily challenges or weekly challenges where they put them out in forms of like achievements and stuff that were just like, hey, here's this extra thing you can do in this game. And it was usually like beating things with certain skulls or in certain time limits and stuff like that.
Escort them to the landing pad for evac.
Shotgun feels a little weak sounding.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Halo shotguns. Are almost never good.
Well, they can be good, but like this is one of the lower tier of those.
Yeah.
I smacked a dead grunt out of paranoia. I mean, it sounds meaty enough. It's just the actual animations and reloading sounds. Like when you fire, it sounds meaty, but the actual animations and reloading sounds are kind of weak.
And it is decent for this part, because this part's almost like a tutorial for the shotgun, because they give you a bunch of routes, like, you know, getting close and you can
nuts!
Kill them.
Well, thanks for jinxing me, because I am very dead. Okay, it looks like we are both dead, so...
Yeah.
Grenade spam for the win! Survivors ready. So in our family survivor rankings, I somehow still have one player. Not gonna mention who it is for people who don't want to be spoiled, but it's like, wow, I really lost a lot of people very quickly, and then had to draw from the reserve pool. That was a very clever way for my sister to get me into Survivor again, because with all the new rules and stuff since the last time I had watched it, like 10 years prior to last year, I just was tuning out until close to the end. When, what was her name? Autistic Survivor contestant. Ava Erickson. She got to third, which really was very inspiring because, you know, that made people realize that you could win a social game by just being honest, by just being yourself, and not relying on the usual neurotypical rules of social deception. I read a very interesting thread on Threads, naturally, that explained that neurotypicals value social safety over correctness. And, you know, that means that challenges to whatever is comfortable for them are very difficult. So that even if you're right, if it sounds too emotionally direct, that can be a bit of an off-putting thing. So this has been an interesting experience learning about that. Anyway, So, I guess we go through this blown up door, or... Oh, no, here. There we go. Let's see. While we have time, I'm trying to figure out what other games... Because, like, another thing that
I can talk about some stuff I've been playing.
Oh, yeah, sure, you...
I've actually... I finished, Trails of the Sky first chapter last week.
Oh, yeah, I still need to do that demo on my Switch.
Yeah, I thought it was very good, and the ending really goes for it.
Of the first chapter?
Yes.
Wow.
So, like, it's a pretty small scale game in terms of like the plot and the stuff that you're doing, but it very much sets up a big world. And now I'm like, oh, I totally get why this series is like interesting now, because without saying anything specific about the ending, it sets up a lot of stuff and also pays off a lot of stuff that the game's been building to in a very, very good way.
I see.
And
Oh no!
then
That Marine got chucked into the wall.
So I had been wondering if they were going to like be remaking the second chapter, and the credits rolled, and I'm like, oh man, a remake to this will come out, or a remake to the second game will come out in a few years. And then after the credits, the game just ends with straight up a trailer for the second game. For like the remake of the second game. I'm like, oh, I guess they're...
Oh, so wait, I thought you just been... So wait, chapter
is a complete game. It's just the first chapter because it's like the first...
Oh, so like it's a Final Fantasy
that's
thing.
That's how they refer to it, because the first game now is called Trails in the Sky first.
Okay, well that's not confusing at all.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but that's just the nomenclature they went with. So I finished the game, and it was like Trails in the Sky second chapter remake coming soon, and it was a very complete looking trailer. And then I looked it up, and literally the day that I beat the game, the producer was like, "Yeah, that game should be coming out next year." So I guess they must have been developing them concurrently. And it's a very smart thing to do, because like the way that first game ends and introduces a much grander scale to the world, I'm like, oh, I need to see where this goes. And now it's like, oh, I don't even have to wait that long.
Oh,
it's very smart to do, especially in contrast to stuff like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it's like, well, 4 or 5 years between parts of this.
Because they have a much cheaper to make art style and pipeline and an actual like objective, instead of, oh, there's all these fan expectations that we have to fulfill, and like all these timeline things that we have to do. Because that's the main thing that's putting me off of even getting Final Fantasy VII on Xbox. Though I probably will replay it if I get the or play it some more again if continue my save anyway. If I either have the Steam mode, the desktop mode on Xbox next, or the Steam machine. I kind of hope that there's a cheaper Xbox only next-gen Xbox, because then maybe I can use that money for a more portable Steam machine that would be more useful for other things too. You know?
And
though it depends on how the desktop mode integrates with Xbox. Like if they let you basically say, okay, I would like to send this to my Xbox menu, the way that you can pin games in Steam, so that you just can launch them rather than having to switch over every time. Again, I'm not very confident with the UI and the price for the next Xbox, and clearly they have a lot of work to do on Call of Duty if they want to make it an attractive proposition for next gen. Again, it's so disheartening, because this game used to have such a strong, solid foundation. When I got Call of Duty, I felt like my palms were sweating, like I felt like I was in the war. Even though I knew, obviously, that, you know, one bullet and you were dead in real life, most likely. Or seriously, grievously injured and unable to fight, and so you didn't have... But it was intense enough, and, you know, often challenging enough that, you know, once I beat it, I felt accomplished. And now I'm going through it again on Veteran, and it's tearing my hair out, but I'm looking forward to playing the classic multiplayer with the, it. Well, I'm the demon, motherfucker. Not an it. Yeah. Well, it's nice enough.
Yeah, so
There's that. And then what other games?
Yeah, so beyond Trails of the Sky, I finally started Ninja Gaiden 4. I've been meaning to start it for a month, but
Okay, and?
go into Trails in the Sky. I really like it so far. I'm like 3 missions in.
Okay,
I think there's like 15 to 20, I think I heard. So I don't know exactly how many, but yeah, it's really solid so far. It does feel like I definitely can feel the platinum in it, more so than I can feel the Team Ninja. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think it feels much more Metal Gear Rising than like Ninja Gaiden 2 or anything. But it does have some cool stuff about it. Like the new guy you play as, primarily Yakumo, he's got a lot of cool stuff. Like, you essentially have your normal combat.
Right, yeah.
And then you have basically like a raid mode that you go into, that you kind of manage the meter on. And it's governed by like your... And then you also do have another meter that sort of has like a berserk mode to it. So that's another like pretty interesting thing. And yes, it's definitely a game where like it will let you just sit there and try to master it. So I've been kind of doing a bit of that because there are these. Have you played it at all?
Yeah, I am very familiar with the mechanics too. I thought I told you, but I didn't want to assume.
I think we talked about it briefly, but I didn't know.
Not in depth. Yeah, I'm only like a couple missions in, but they very much introduced the mechanics a lot in those first couple missions.
So, did you do any of the, I forget what they're called, but they're basically the optional challenge things?
No. You know I'm not very much big on optional... Whoa, okay, that's interesting. But I'm not usually big on optional challenges.
You do this really interesting thing with the challenge rooms that you find, where you can up your health. Like, you can say, I'm going to go into this with, like, 20% of my health, but you get a much bigger reward.
Oh, interesting.
Like how Smash Brothers does their challenge stuff, where you just have a sliding scale of how much do you want to bet. So I went into the first one that you find, and I went for the highest option. There's no real penalty to doing that because you can retry as many times as you want.
Oh yeah, I figured as much. It's a challenge.
I went into it and I was like instantly like, I will bet, I'll go into this with like 10% of my health.
What? Ha! Wow, okay, that's ballsy.
My first try I lasted about 5 seconds. But, so I stuck with it. I just like kept perfecting it. I was like, alright, instead of, going to an easier challenge, let me see how far I can get on this level. Now, I didn't end up beating it on the 10% health one, but I did manage to beat it on like 50% health. So...
that was my kill, haha. Anyway, sorry, you were saying?
So like, I really, that was definitely a great way, and it's a pretty long challenge too. Like, it's probably a solid 3-4 minutes, just straight up, probably about 100, 120.
That was stupid. And I thought you were dead. Oh wait, no, you are alive. Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay, good.
So you really have to know your, like, it's very much a, like, trial by fire, I guess is what I'm looking for. Oh, I'm dead.
Well, I'm backing up, and also I haven't eaten Doritos anymore, so I'm not doing the stupid challenge.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
So yeah, I really prefer that style to just, like, the game also does just a training mode and stuff, and you can try your combos out there. But I definitely learned a lot more just, fighting real enemies.
Yeah, so totally. I never liked training modes either.
By the time that I beat that combat challenge, I was like 3 times as good at the game as I was, and so the rest of the level, it started throwing, because in that combat challenge I was facing, a dozen medium level guys at once, and then I go back to the main game and it's like, oh, you're facing half as many guys and they're way weaker. So the rest of that first mission, I just like steamrolled through on normal.
Wow. Okay.
Like, oh my god.
Well, I guess I'll have to see how that is on hero mode.
Yeah, the game just did an excellent job of like...
Go! I'll cover you.
Of like, making you learn without it feeling like a punishment,
Yeah, I can see that.
I would die, it's still, even doing it on... Because I kept raising the health limit, I was like, alright, well, I didn't do it on this health limit, and then I felt like 50 was my sweet spot, so I'm like, I think I can do this on 50, because I kept getting to the final wave, and then I did it. I'm like, oh, it probably took me, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes And that one section, I felt like I now have the combat like down.
Oh boy.
So the only thing that challenged me from there on out was the boss at the end of the level, and that wasn't too bad, but it was definitely a step up.
I just had a similar experience with Operation Wolf Returns because I just beat the first boss and finally cleared that first mission. I'm not sure how much I actually like it because there's a lot of ducking in and out of cover, and like enemies just all focusing right on you. But it's an arcadey game, and that's kind of the deal. Still, I had fun with that, and I will get back to Ninja Gaiden 4 at some point. But the other game that has been really consuming my attention is Dying Light the Beast. Holy shit! Well, first of all, I just was looking around for owned games to stream just because I was curious about the list, and then I moseyed on over to Dying Light the Beast. I was like, okay, this game's finally out because I hadn't really been paying attention to when it was coming out and stuff. And then it was just like, install, you own this. And I was like, but I don't remember buying it. And so I was worried that like Game Pass had a glitch and was letting all of the stream your own games be free to install.
Okay. Yeah.
But what
happened, right? Because you had the season pass for Dying Light 2.
Right. The Dying Light 2 Ultimate Edition was offered until the end of 2024. The idea was that the Beast would be another DLC. I never actually got around to the DLC because Dying Light 2 was just so oppressively huge, and there were a lot of other problems with the melee and parkour that I think have been fixed for the Reloaded Edition, which replaced it for $60 and included the one DLC that they did. So I'm going to go back to that at some point, but the story of the Beast is way hookier because they're bringing back Kyle frickin' Crane. Of course it is. I don't even remember what the protagonist's name is for Dying Light 2. And they just spend so much time trying to explain how everything goes down, where it's like, with the Beast you're going. You're from a laboratory escape. That's not much of a spoiler, because of how evil the GRE is. Almost cartoonishly so, but, you know, gotta have an evil government scientific organization, and or incompetent. Or the zombies just lose. You know, like any actual competent military would be able to pick off slow-moving, unarmed individuals with headshots once they figured it out. Or just heavy ordnance, you know. But you have to have that. That's kind of why I've cooled to the zombie genre a little bit. But there's always interesting twists that keep me coming back every now and again. And, well, Dying Light the Beast might just have some of my favorite... how do you use the deployables again?
On my control scheme, it's left bumper. I don't know what it would be for you.
Oh, there we go. I just did that. Yeah, it's just... Get turned on. Oh, man.
Alright, I'm still alive back here. I'll just back up.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I got sniped. Look out, look out.
Okay, well, I'm hiding behind the box. That's all.
Right, I'm back.
Okay, good. And apparently I have the cloak back, too, which is interesting.
Roll battle rifle out for these guys.
Yep, same.
Yeah, but I totally forgot about Dying Light the Beast, honestly. Like, I feel like it had a very subdued launch.
Yeah, so it has some of the...
Light 2.
It has I mean, this is probably the best Dying Light game they've ever made, honestly. Yeah. Because basically what happened, for, again, those who don't know, is that the reason what the Ultimate Edition was delisted is because it got too big to be a DLC. And that makes complete sense, because the vistas are just gorgeous. The lighting, some of the best I've seen on current gen, period. And what's more, for the tactile feeling of the melee combat, which in first-person melee combat has always been a bit of a challenge. I admire games like Xenoclash that made that their whole thing, but that was a tough, you know, game to make and for people to play sometimes. Is the deformation of flesh, which is fantastic. Gore is one of the high points of this generation for sure, and it shows when you're like smacking half a guy's face off, or repeatedly hitting them in the arm to make sure that they're not attacking you, or like drop kicking, which feels just as good as it ever did and just as slightly overpowered. To drop kick a zombie to a whole bunch of his friends and knock them all over, and then kick them on the ground. I apparently got also some free bonus weapons that seem really, really powerful, so I'm holding on to them until I would naturally need them. Like a shotgun would pretty much clear the early enemies very quickly. The first boss I just beat, that was so cool. Though I once again annoyed by the fact that bosses have to have help. Like, can't I just have a one-on-one fight with someone who's smart and interesting and like changes up tactics? You know, like the Mr. Freeze fight from Batman Arkham City, which I quoted from my last live stream by saying, you know, I do care, Joker. I care about Gotham. I care about justice, and if it has to end like this, at least I'll go out being Batman, basically. So, you know. But that was because they tightly designed it around the systems and the behaviors that they knew that players would try, and then had Mr. Freeze shut off one of those strategies if you used it too much, which is really cool, and something that I haven't seen a lot of games try in a while. But you know, if they manage to have AIs that are really, really smart because of LLMs, I guess I'll grudgingly accept it. But you know, again, hopefully by then there's a lot more regulation on the use of AI, and like job protections and such. Or maybe Microsoft and Sony bet the farm on AI and they lose, and their consoles are a total disaster. Otherwise, oops.
I got one
shot.
Oh, is that you? Okay. How did that run one-shot me?
Whoops. Oh, well, my bad. Boink. Anyway. That is it's very like in and out with the light here. Wait. Are there enemies? It seems like the enemies are above me actually. Time to spam grenades! And hope for the best. The physics are definitely not as chaotic as Halo 2's are, but they certainly have their fun moments.
Hangar. Straight to the cave, Chief.
Yeah, so before, I think we're near the end of this mission.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, I also did play, because I installed the Call of Duty stuff, just, you know, the whole thing, just to have it on there in case I wanted to check out Black Ops 7. And so I ended up playing a bit of the Black Ops 6 campaign, which I never finished.
Of the Black Ops what? Oh, Black Ops 6
Black
campaign?
Ops 6.
Yeah, that campaign's good. Though, the story makes no goddamn sense, and a lot of it is very sprawling to a fault.
Yeah, I have no clue what's happening. I'm just going with the flow on that one, because I don't know anything about
the timeline is a total disaster after Black Ops Cold War, because it basically non-canonized a couple of Call of Duty entries. And I think that it, like, made some elements of Black Ops 2 non-canon. Maybe. I'd have to double check. But yeah, it's like, they're so up their own butt about their characters and timeline that people expect to see, that they're forgetting that, you know, Call of Duty used to be about you, the soldier who was just brought in. Because I forgot to mention more about Call of Duty 2. I mean, it was really interesting, again, to see how people might have felt to some degree in an actual war zone. But like, anyway, I guess the only other couple of gaming news items that I've found were somehow Concord returned.
Yeah. Concord
fans are awesome.
Getting shut down a second time.
Well, I mean, the fan servers, I doubt that Sony cares. game that they paid $40 for and get it for free. Retain it for free, I suppose, if you still install it. I don't know how you get past the licensing things for that.
The mission ends.
That's probably what a lot of the of this is about. Of this mod is about, is removing those restrictions and rebuilding the servers, which I don't even know how people manage to do that, period. Like, rebuild entire servers. I think there was that one that I told you about where it was Darkspore, and they were trying to have that be rebuilt. It's still in alpha after that guy who was working on it quit and didn't save his project files with everybody else. And so they had to start over a lot of it. But, you know, these are very talented teams of small people who are doing way more interesting things than giant studios of 200 plus people, because there's all this coordination that you have to do with a large studio. That's why, like, small studios are probably gonna be making a real big push in the next gen. And how easy it is to do the graphics now on one guy's computer. There's really not a lot that AAA games can do to wow people anymore. And then I guess the last thing that I wanted to ask you about is, have you heard of any of the Expedition 33 discourse?
Depends what type of discourse.
Well, let's see. Basically, I think all of it is around the gaming awards, because it got entered into multiple indie game awards, and that was controversial.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's any worse than what was the game that was in a bunch of indie awards that was extremely not indie?
Oh, I know what you mean. Dave the Diver. That was published by
Dave the
Nacon,
Diver.
I believe.
Yeah, I think it's a similar thing to that, where, like, I think it's got the spirit of indie, like it's Indian spirit, even if it is, you know, they do have money behind it to some extent. It's not like it's coming out of one of the big publishers. So I guess maybe that could just be a conversation about, like, how big does a publisher have to be before it's no longer an indie game?
Yeah, they have a large publisher behind them, like Kepler, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Kepler is big, but they're not, like, as big in the gaming sphere. Like,
As your Ubisofts.
Like,
yeah.
So where do you draw that line, I guess?
But it kind of feels like if Gameloft got entered into an Indie Game of the Year award, it's still owned by a powerful. Gameloft is still owned by the Guillemot family, so.
Right. I definitely would lean, as much as I do love Expedition 33, and I know it got nominated for a bunch of stuff. I didn't look at the categories.
Is this the Warthog run? Or no, wait, no, not quite. It's a Warthog thing.
It's
not these things. Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect timing, actually.
Perfect timing.
But to finish that thought, like, I wonder, what's it actually? Hold on, I can look up. Do you have the nominees handy for that category?
Yeah, I think so. Because I see the picture now. It's Absalom and Roger.
Oh, okay.
Consume
I
Me.
need to play Absalom, by the way.
What's that about it?
Things about that. It's a beat 'em up by the makers of Streets of Rage 4, but it's a roguelike beat 'em up.
Interesting.
I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've got it wishlist. I think it's not on Xbox, unfortunately, but it is on PC and Switch so far. I have it wishlist on Switch. I've heard just nonstop good things about it. But yes, so okay, Absalom. What were the other ones?
Okay, so and Roger.
Oh, that one.
Consume Me.
Okay, I have heard of that one. That one's about, like, eating disorders, I believe.
Yeah, fair. Especially in the age of ultra-processed food making us crave more. Because one time when I had a big bag of Doritos and was high, I devoured the entire bag. Because it was that good. It was just attacking the dopamine centers in my brain, and I was just eating without thinking while watching TV or playing video games or something. And anyway... So then there's Blue. I imagine a lot of people went through very similar things playing Halo 3 back in the day. But before weed was legalized in so many places, and then now hemp stuff is being messed with by the Trump administration. But anyway, then there's Blueprints and Citizen Sleeper 2, which no surprises there. This is other than Clear Expedition, Clear Obscure.
Right.
Hades 2, which I still want. I'm like intrigued if it's on sale, because for $30 on the Switch 2, I don't know. I mean, maybe I need something new roguelite to play because of the of how I just beat level 6 finally on Hilltop Layer of Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I still need to finish. There's a lot of, you have to do a lot of Turf Groove and enemy multipliers to get to that. But level 7 is calling my name, and then I'll be done with that game, because I can't imagine trying it on level 7 on the other layers. So without doing, I think a lot of the reason why I just beat my head against the wall was because I had a self-imposed challenge to some degree of not using Bonanza so much, because again, just dealing with all those skill trees again was too much for my neurodivergence. But it also meant that it limited the amount of things that I could do to try and get multipliers. So yeah, I think that'll be a good way to end it for a while anyway. So Hades 2 could be good for $30. Hollow Knight Silksong also because I can't get past the first anything on Hollow Knight, navigation-wise or challenge-wise. Keep Driving, and then Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo.
Okay. Those are
most of those are indie games. I think that.
So those.
Oh, sorry. No, you go.
Definitely that. Yeah, that's. I guess I'd have to look into where, if any of those other ones are similarly in scope in terms of funding, but yeah, I definitely think maybe Clear Obscure doesn't need to be there if I guess at the end of the day, this is all, put together by a kind of conglomerate of, the journalist side of things. So, if, hey, they say it fits in that category, then sure. But
well, that's because Jeff Keighley has anointed himself the king of gaming, and I kind of hate it. Wow, we did 4 missions tonight. Dang, that... They didn't really feel like...
an intro cutscene.
Oh, yeah, I mean, duh. But, three proper missions, then. Out of eight. Man, I'm tired. Yeah. But I think that an indie game is about the concept being small and digestible. Life is Strange was backed by Square Enix, but it was a small concept. It was a game about high schoolers who discovered that one of them could time travel. That ended up being... Yeah, and it was sold at an appropriate price, too. That's part of it. If Clear Obscure had been $30, then maybe they can make an argument for that. But $30 and over is AA, which is not indie, to me.
Yeah, I think maybe they could... I wonder how you could even split that category if you really wanted to split hairs about it.
Yeah, that's tough.
I guess, yeah... Expedition 33 feels like it's kind of in a no man's land, because it feels like it's punching above its weight in a lot of ways.
So the way that Kotaku mentions it by John Walker says that there was a brief window in the late 2000s when indie games were very definitely a specific thing. Digital publishing suddenly made it possible to distribute a game without going through a publisher, though with very severe download limits on Wii, for instance, and that kept Super Meat Boy off of that, but on Xbox 360, and Xbox Live Indie Gaming was even more so than Xbox Live Arcade, small and tiny. Yeah, it's I'd have to check to see about the small games on PS3 that Billy might have if I end up borrowing it while he's moving. Because that has some of my PSP games on there too. I believe you could play them, but I never managed to get it working because it was just such a pain in the ass to download anything on the PlayStation 3. So I completely understand. And yet, the download speeds on the Xbox now suck too, even without a game open. So the next Xbox is definitely going to have to do Wi-Fi 6E or 7 in order to convince me that it's going to be meaningfully improved. Sure, I could Ethernet it up, but I don't think even that is gigabit on my internet, so it'd be a pain in the ass, too, to move my router. But yeah, when's the next time you'll be free?
After Thursday, I'm actually off for 5 days, so...
Okay, we can just play whatever.
Yeah, I'll probably be busy Friday though, so probably Thursday or Saturday, one of those two.
Yeah, either could work. I'll keep you posted. I don't have any big plans other than to go to the National Mall and film that at some point, and go to the potentially the National Building Museum with two of my friends before they moved to Baltimore during the day on Saturday and filming History Flights tours of those, so be sure to subscribe for that. But the next time that we're going to do Sunny Redemption Sailing is definitely in 2 weeks. I need a break from news and politics and all that for a bit.
Really?
And especially religion. But the next time, I'm hoping that we can coincide it, if at all possible, with December 4th for the release of Metroid Prime 4, which I'm still planning on getting. Because I was like, there's something I forgot to ask Kevin, and I got to ask you about it after a second. But then the Switch 2 upgrade for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, finally, with the SpongeBob DLC. That should be fun. But I wanted to get your take on the chatty side characters in Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, so I definitely heard about that. I'm just kind of not watching footage because I'm just gonna buy the game anyways. So I don't really know. I haven't seen enough of it to have much of an opinion. I just know some people are like, oh, it's really bad, and some people are like, it's fine. Like it's not like it's maybe not what people would have wanted, but not game. You know, it's not a deal breaker for people. And
didn't they have side characters before, like in other games?
They did in Metroid Prime 3.
But that was probably low rated.
There was more. Well, yeah, it's definitely the weakest of the original trilogy, but I don't think that was, at least not. That wasn't necessarily the reason it was the weakest for me.
It was the emo Samus, wasn't it?
No, that was Metroid Other M. So that game also had more like human involvement from the human side of the Metroid stuff. The thing is, like, a lot of people like Metroid for sort of the isolated feeling, and so adding in like side characters making quips kind of is the exact opposite of that. So I just hope that it's not something where he's following you for half the game.
It seems like
little
for
bits and pieces, then sure. Or like for this tutorial section that it seems like he's in, then sure, that's totally fine. But I think for me, I would definitely want the game to more embody a solo isolation sort of vibe.
I don't have a preference really, because I'm gonna get this game for the 120 hertz support and mouse controls, making the Metroid games finally feel good to play from my perspective. Sorry, I really did try with Metroid Dread, but it just felt like my thumbs were curling around themselves, my fingers were curling around themselves in odd ways to try and get back into it after a long spell, so I just dropped it. Not that it's a bad game, it just didn't fit with me. And I never have tried the Metroid Prime series to begin with, so because of course the price for the remastered stuff is annoying. But like it was funny to see Arlo crash out about that. Like he's been waiting for 8 years about this, and he had this very specific idea built up in his head. So I could see how that would annoy a lot of people.
It's something where I think a lot of people were expecting them to not go in that direction, because like Prime 3, I think that was the least. That was definitely even back then in 2007 when that game came out. People were like, why?
That was another 2007 game.
People were not into. I think Metroid's the one series where there's almost unanimous agreement that there should be no or minimal voice acting. So, like. Because even in Metroid Prime 1, there was a whole monologue from Samus at the intro to the game that got cut at the last minute, because they decided creatively, like, let's make Samus, let's keep her as a either mute or very, quiet character who almost never talks.
Which then added to the surprise at the end when they revealed girl!
Well, that was in Metroid Prime.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Metroid 1.
No.
Sorry.
Metroid Prime, there was like a spoken word intro from Samus setting up the game, and then they cut it like very last second. So it's still like in the game files, and people have dug it up. And then Metroid Dread actually has one spoken bit of dialogue from Samus, and they do it pretty much like it's definitely a very surprising moment when it happens, and they used restraint and just had it for this one part
to
so,
have impact. Yeah,
yes,
I could see that.
They used it at a very, very pivotal part, and it's like, oh my, like it kind of just like catches you off guard. Like, wait, did Samus just talk?
Well, if that annoys me, I'll probably get a good amount of trade money or selling on the private market money for potentially SpongeBob and the Titans of the Tide. That looks really good actually, from what I've seen. So, you know, at least in gaming, SpongeBob feels creative. I'm not sure about the show because I haven't watched it in years. Since 2007, really. That was like, that year was such a cultural vortex. I mean, like, all these things coming out at the same time and peaking at the same time, and all these new IPs. Even, of course, and the end of Pottermania in the book world. That was the only one of the books that I never read, just because of the intimidating length. But I did listen to it on audio, on tape, when in the car with my family. That was how we tackled the last 3 books as a family. Though I did read the 5 and 6. So it's very disappointing to have all these things that were part of my childhood be shit all over by mega corporations or transphobes or whatever. But you know, we still have the memories. We still have the classic games. That's why new games just aren't selling as well, is because the retro games are right there, or the older modern-ish games are still right there, and you can still play them. You know, so there's a lot of pressure coming on the AAA industry, I think, to actually change potentially, because people are tired of paying high prices for garbage. At least that's my hope. We'll see what happens with things like Ubisoft getting bought or whatever, but yeah, no, I'm not in a very good place emotionally with Xbox right now, and really, really, I'm hoping for an emotional relationship with the Steam machine. Anyway, yeah,
right.
I guess I'll see you on Thursday for something off of the internet. You have a good one.
All right, see you.
Alrighty, and y'all have a good one. Bye-bye. And yes, I do still hate Sling TV. Thank you, Dexter Morgan. I now subscribe to YouTube TV, but I decided to cancel that, and we'll just use Antenna for